Oh, we got lots of wrestling to talk about, especially across the prairies, whether it's from Winnipeg or Saskatchewan. We got your indie wrestling action here tonight on Ring Respect Radio. Boom, just like that. It's Thursday night, and we want you to party with us. We're the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, and the man sat beside me. He's the man with the angelic voice. He's Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Woo! I'm doing great, Munson. Thursday night again. We're here on OLE Podcasts and the Video Bros Network with another episode of Ring Respect Radio. Always glad when it's Thursday. Always glad to sit down and talk a little wrestling.
You know what I'm always glad about on a Thursday night, Papa Smokes, is the people in the chat that keep us active, like Zach dropping in to say hello, and also our boy Bass saying hello, you handsome devils, right back at you. Bass, thank you. And of course, Melball Collins in the house as well, too. Everybody who's joining us here tonight, make sure to get those comments into the live chat throughout the night. Happy to talk with all of you, especially talk to you about indie professional wrestling. We love us some indie professional wrestling, Pop Smoke. So we got some stuff to talk about. Of course, mainly we're going to get to our WPW Winnipeg Pro Wrestling review in a short little bit. But, you know, something happened the other day, Pop Smokes. A company came together and put an event together, and it's all the buzz ever since then. And I'm talking about Prairie Pro Wrestling. Prairie Pro Wrestling had a storm warning over on Saturday. And guess who was there? Mangler was there. Mangler was there at the show on Saturday, the storm warning that took place live in Saskatoon. And oh boy, Papa Smokes, do we have some stuff we need to chatter about what went down on Saturday? Where do you want to begin, my friend?
Oh, some stuff happened, Munson. That's the understatement of the year.
Yeah, that's a good reason why people don't want to ever miss out on Prairie Pro Wrestling action, because you're never sure what to expect, and anything can happen at any time, including Papa Smoke's big announcement. We are going to be doing another set of matches at the Saskatoon Berries game on Saturday, July the 11th. Yes, that's coming up right around the corner. So if you're a baseball fan and a pro wrestling fan, come join us for Prairie Pro Wrestling action at the Saskatoon Berries game. I am stoked, Papa Smokes. Had a hell of a time last year with our friends at the Berries, and happy to do it again. And happy to say hello to Bobby Stats in the house. Yes, Canada Day was awesome, my friend. Had a great time. Thank you for liking the video. But yeah, Papa Smokes, it was that announcement with the Berries. That's huge once again for us.
Well, Munson, take me out to the ball game, because what could be better on a summer night in July than a little baseball action with some pro wrestling thrown in between? It's going to be nice outside. If anyone was there last year, they remember how well these two events paired together. You can sit outside, have a beer, have a Coke, have some popcorn, have a hot dog, enjoy some baseball action, just the way the Saskatoon Berries do it up beautifully, and some Prairie Pro Wrestling. I mean, what could be better?
It's going to be an amazing time, as Bobby saying. Awesome news, but the news doesn't stop there, because we got one more stop after that before we get to the 5th annual Ring of Horrors, Pop Smokes. Yes, we got one more stop in Saskatoon on Saturday, August the 29th. Things are about to heat up as we get our way towards the Ring of Horrors. Looking forward to seeing the PPW Nation again here in a short period of time.
Can't wait. And we're going to talk a little bit about storm warning that just happened this past weekend. But things are getting shaken up in PPW. There's been changes and all kinds of things going on at storm warning. So let's get into this, Munson. There were some great matches, and yes, some stuff happened.
Bass saying we saw history made last Saturday. Change is good. Canadian Goose is good. PPW is great. Glad you enjoyed it, Bass. Hey to Astrid joining us in the chat. Thank you for being here on a Thursday night, Astrid. And it is great at Bass, and that's why I told you last time out. I know that there was a lot of frustration with the dusty finish that happened at the end of the previous event, and I kept saying, come along for the ride. And I know that there's a lot of wrestling people out there. They always get, just shut up, enjoy it. Shut up, enjoy it. I never wanted to say shut up and enjoy it. I just wanted to say, trust us. That was more of the level I was going for, was trust us, because your emotions ran high because you care. And if you care, you're going to love the things that are going to unfold over the next year plus. Trust me, there are wheels in motion, and I guarantee you that the payoffs are all going to be worth it. You're going to enjoy the ride. Please come along with us for that said ride. And yeah, be there Saturday, August the 29th for more PPW action. But getting into what happened at Storm Warning, Papa Smokes, first and foremost, El Hijo de la Noches got a little bit of what was coming towards him as he was unmasked by Phil Deadly. And if he was to be unmasked and it was proven to be Levi Knight, which it was, he would be removed from Prairie Pro Wrestling once again. So, of course, Crash Crimson, Quicksilver, bringing the bag down, kicking Levi out of the building. He tried multiple times to get back into the show the whole night. He was there at one point. I had to escort his ass out there. Me and Gallivan got them, throw him out of the building again. That idiot Jorge. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jorge, and I know you've been checking it out, listening in, tuning in, but hear these words, Jorge. Stuffing a yellow card in my face. Who the hell do you think you are, son? Seriously, don't get up in my face like that ever again. That said, El Hijo unmasked. It is Levi Knight. He's out of there. We won't be seeing him back again, Papa Smokes.
Well, don't forget who did the unmasking. I mean, this match was announced as a match that could be won through pinfall, submission, or the unmasking of El Hijo de la Noche. And who accomplishes this feat? But it's one of Saskatoon's favorite wrestler, good friend of yours and mine, Phil Deadly. Oh, Uncle Phil, absolutely bringing the house down by ripping the mask off El Hijo and revealing it to be Levi Knight, which was not a huge surprise for anyone in the building or anyone watching on YouTube, but it had to be done formally so that we could get this scourge of PPW just out of here. It was a satisfying feeling to me too, to get this fraud out of the building, out of PPW ring. And I mean, now what's going to happen is Levi Knight still barred from PPW? We'll see in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Will he try to get his way back in? Well, who knows what Levi Knight what kind of shenanigans he might pull. But for now, Levi Knight once again gone from Prairie Pro Wrestling. We do have to say, Pop Smokes, I'm going to break out a little bit of the banter I do here on the channel sometimes and say we saw a very nasty injury on Saturday, and my condolences go out to El Asesino for said injury. I don't want to ever see anybody end up in that situation. He ended up breaking his clavicle. It will require surgery. He is going to be out for a long period of time, Papa Smokes, and I actually am going to say it. I wish him a speedy recovery.
Okay, I'm a little surprised at your words, Munson, there, but I think that's probably from the heart, and I think you mirror the thoughts of most wrestling fans. As hated as El Asesino is as a competitor in PPW, he's still a person, he's still a wrestler, and we never want to see anybody get hurt in the ring. So I back that up as well. Get well soon, Asesino. I know you'll be back. If anyone's strong enough to get through a serious injury, it's him. He will be back. But for now, sad that we have to try and fill the void of one of our top stars in Prairie Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, and you won't have to completely fill the void of the disappearance of El Asesino, Pop Smokes, because he and I have got something brewing up. We might be releasing very shortly the Munson versus El Asesino podcast over on Prairie Pro Wrestling. So if you enjoy the banter you have seen between myself and El Asesino, if you want a true, raw, unfiltered podcast that El Asesino is going to let loose on, it's in the works. I'm telling you, it is on the way. It is going to happen. So you won't have to wait too much longer before you hear more from the El Asesino.
Yeah, and anybody that knows Asesino, he gets that mask on and he becomes a different person. doesn't take any shit from anybody, doesn't take any crap from anybody, and he's certainly not going to take it from you, Munson. So this is good. This is an interesting concept for a podcast. I have the feeling the fireworks are going to fly even more than they did on July 1st, Canada Day. And we're going to hear some hopefully hilarious banter between the two of you, and hopefully some eye-opening wrestling talk too, because you guys are going to talk current events in pro wrestling as well, aren't you?
We will be. Yes, there will be all sorts of kind of wrestling reviews, wrestling talk when it comes to modern professional wrestling, indie professional wrestling stuff as well too, related to what we do with Prairie Pro Wrestling, and also just some randomized talk between two guys. At the same time, we might chat at some movie stuff at times. Who knows where we could go when Munson and El Asesino are the hosts of your new show. So you're going to be able to tune into that very soon over on the Prairie Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. And Bass saying Soup got off lucky that night, he thinks. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Again, win or lose in a match with El Asesino, you're coming out hurt. That's the problem. You can pin the man to the mat 1, 2, 3. That's not going to save you from the ass kicking you're going to receive afterwards, though.
Very much so. And you and I have covered, followed, and called many of El Asesino's matches in the past, going back 10 years. And you and I have both seen opponents, wrestlers come into the dressing room with their bags, see that they're wrestling El Asesino that night, and turn around and just walk right out. I've seen that happen more than once. So Soup Nasty, I think he got off lucky that night. But at any rate, best wishes to El Asesino and a speedy recovery, brother.
You bet. Speaking of brothers, your brother from another mother, Morris Waltz, kicking up a big victory there on Saturday. Papa Smokes getting a victory over Mars the Specialist in singles action there. What a huge match and a big victory there for Morris Waltz.
Huge match and huge victory for Morris, because it kind of looks like Mars the Specialist now on his own here in singles competition in PPW. He kind of looks a little bit grumpy about it too, and he came out to the ring with really just showing a lot of attitude there. Not as much as Morris Waltz, obviously, because Morris Waltz battling through this match. Mars the Specialist, a more than adept wrestler and a huge challenge for anybody. But Morris picks up the win there with those stunning Taekwondo kicks the whole time. Gets the 1, 2, 3 on Mars the Specialist. And trust me, you guys, this is a bigger match than it seemed at the time. This, I think, is going to be the turnaround for Morris Waltz. He's destined for bigger and better things in Prairie Pro Wrestling. This is just the beginning. He's going to string some wins together and make something happen.
It is very possible. He looked intense in that matchup, did very well, and that is a very credible opponent to get a victory over. In tag team action, we saw Prairie there taking on the newly formed team of Jax Wilder, coming back to Prairie Pro Wrestling for a second time. This time along, he brought along with him the Canadian Goose, Hong Kong, making his debut in Prairie Pro Wrestling. Papa Smokes. Very interesting match. Of course, Prairie been steamrolling the tag team competition, want to get themselves another crack at the championship belts. But this was a great fight from the newcomers. Jax Wilder, of course, his second time around here in Prairie Pro Wrestling. And, of course, Goose made a very big debut in Prairie Pro Wrestling, immediately making that connection with the PPW Nation.
Absolutely. And Jax and the Goose came out with a ton of charisma and a ton of enthusiasm, really getting that crowd pumped up. But Prairie come out, they don't seem to care about the fans. They don't care about the rule book when they're in the ring. And yet they have a charisma about them that's getting to the fans too. And they came down with so much confidence. This was a good match. It wasn't a long match. Prairie really took it to these two less experienced wrestlers than themselves and smaller wrestlers than themselves. And really, Prairie making a huge statement in the tag team division, delivering their devastating finishing maneuver, murder, upon both of their opponents in this match and getting the 1, 2, 3. So Prairie on cruise control at this point, and they've got to be getting considered for a championship match.
You bet. And I'm going to get to, there's one match I'm going to save to talk about kind of collectively with the main event here, but we also in action on Saturday, we had a triple threat match, one for the fans, definitely the guys in the match, Dean Richter, Rich King, and T.Y. Jackson. And of course, we've seen Rich King and Dean Richter teaming as King Richter as of late in Prairie Pro Wrestling, this time at odds with each other in this triple threat match that T.Y. Jackson came out victorious in as well, too, looking great and continuing to climb up the ladder success in Prairie Pro Wrestling. Somebody who I'm sure the PPW Nation would love to see back in the hunt for the PPW Championship.
And he's got to be in that consideration at this point. T.Y. Jackson has done nothing but impress me and the fans and PPW management this entire time. He's a class act. He's a professional. And he's so dynamic and exciting in the ring. Now, that's not to take anything away from Dean Richter and Rich King, both of whom are very, very solid professional wrestlers. And they're starting to get their footing in PPW as well. But not on this night, because T.Y. Jackson takes advantage of his chance, goes over on two up-and-coming stars in PPW, and earns a hard-fought victory in this three-way. So if I'm PPW management, I'm taking a good hard look at T.Y. Jackson at this point. Whoever the champion is going to be in the coming up months has probably got to have Jackson in their sights, because he's moving his way up the ranks and he's got to be near championship shot at this point.
Definitely got to be in the picture very, very shortly, but the scene is very much lit up right now in that sense, and we're going to talk about that main event shortly. Before that, there was one other match on the card. It was Wrestling Smartest Man in singles competition. Yes, Dixie Dragon not able to make the show, but Wrestling Smartest Man came out one-on-one action against Cannonball Kelly, accompanied by Johnny Two Fingers. And of course, Cannonball Kelly getting the better of Bucky McGraw in this one. McGraw tried to use that book of re-education, was caught by the referee. It was then sent down over to the ring bell table there, and everything. Bucky unable to use it. Cannonball Kelly getting a big victory against one half of the tag team champions.
Well, I'm sure you mean Munson. After we just spoke to Bucky McGraw only a week ago, you're talking about him using the book of re-education, using the strategies and the philosophies and the words in that book. He doesn't need the physical book at the ringside. He's already got that memorized. So don't make it sound like he needs that book at ringside. However, maybe he could have used a little bit of an advantage in this match, because Cannonball Kelly, always a threat, always a brawling factor in PPW, comes up with the win. And Bucky McGraw having a tough time swallowing that loss as a brand new tag team champion. He does not want to get his shoulders pinned to the mat like he just did. So again, Cannonball Kelly with a feather in his cap after that win. You got to think that maybe if he gets a partner, he could get in there with the tag team champions.
And I'm sure there would be a lot of people that wouldn't mind teaming up with a legend like Cannonball Kelly. That's for damn sure. Now let's talk about that main event, Papa Smokes, the PPW Championship on the line. Michael Allen Richard Clark, who's been holding that belt for a hell of a long time, starting to creep up closer and closer to Sheik Akbar Shabazz's record first run, which was the first ever championship run in PPW's history. Getting closer to it in that main event against the crazed cowboy Jacob Creed, the OG feud of Prairie Pro Wrestling. The two of these guys were what we built that first bit of Prairie Pro Wrestling around, because of the hatred between them. And it all came back down to this one-on-one for the title. And in this matchup, there was a lot of shenanigans that ended up going down. Officials were taken out, punched out, multiple officials down at ringside. And in the end, it all came down to that cowbell, Papa Smokes, that cowbell that was thrown accidentally by Cannonball Kelly over top of Michael Allen Richard Clark's head and landed in the hands of Jacob Creed, despite the fact that just moments earlier he was trying to hand it to Michael Allen Richard Clark, who refused it. He would not take it from Cannonball Kelly. He was not going to do it like that. And then all of a sudden, Kelly goes to toss it into the ring to him, but threw it a little too hard. Or I've seen Bass online talking even suspicious about whether Kelly actually threw it accidentally overhead or whether there might have been some shenanigans at play on half of Cannonball Kelly.
Well, never mind the throw that Cannonball Kelly made, but what the hell was that bull rope and cowbell still doing at ringside is my question. The stuff that wrestlers come to the ring with, including their robes, including their t-shirts, including their warm-up jackets, should be taken into the back so that they're not considered part of the wrestling match. That's the sticker of what happened here, is that cowbell was still at ringside. What the hell was it doing there, Bobby Munson?
Okay, now I addressed this on Sunday, and I'm going to address it here again tonight for anybody who didn't catch that part. I thought I'd get ahead of these allegations because I knew what you were up to, Papa Smokes. So first of all, part of what I do at Prairie Pro Wrestling down at ringside is I collect the ring gear, as Papa Smokes said. Make sure that stuff is collected, taken to the back, and out of the way during the matchups themselves. So I had all this ring gear, but we got to rewind just slightly before this, Papa Smokes, to the intermission of the night when Levi Knight snuck his ass back in the ring. And in trying to get him back out of the building, I accidentally pulled a muscle in my calf and was hurting at the end of the night. I'm telling you, I was in a lot of pain, limping. And so as I was walking gingerly towards the back with all this gear, I stopped for a brief moment. I put the cowbell down on the table and I forgot it, man. I forgot it. I took the rest of the stuff back, and by the time I came back down to ringside, it was there. And I'm like, well, shit, I screwed that up, but I'll keep a good eye on it. I didn't know Bucky was going to run out and try to take it from me. I had no idea any of this was going to go down, Papa Smokes. I have no knowledge of what the plan was. I made a simple little error in my job itself. But I did not throw that cowbell. I did not put my hands on it. I did not throw it. And I could never do such a thing as to cost Michael Allen Richard Clark the title and the opportunity to become the longest reigning Prairie Pro Wrestling champion in history. I wouldn't do things like that. We've said it a million times. The people will vouch for me, Papa Smokes. I would not do that.
Yeah, you can say that all you want, Munson, and you're with your accidentally injured your calf muscle. Yeah. I don't know, Munson. Some of this is falling a little bit, sounding a little bit sour to Papa Smokes here right now. Oh, look at this now.
Thank you, Mangler. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yes, I feel a lot better today, at least anyway. I've been taking precautions, doing stretches, making sure that it was all taken care of. And as of now, I'm more mobile once again. But, I did really fight to get all that equipment back to my vehicle that night, dragging that right foot behind me. I mean, I went through hell that night, Papa Smokes. And for you to come at me with such an accusation that I would ever even think twice about the idea of siding with the Brotherhood, trying to help the Brotherhood, doing anything for these three guys, especially to take out Michael Allen Richard Clark in the PPW championship run he was on. It would never happen. It doesn't add up, my man.
Well, okay, you make a good point there, because I find it hard to believe that you would help out some of these villainous people on PPW. I know that you're, like the rest of us, intimidated by Jacob Creed, and we had Bucky McGraw on last week. We had a nice talk with him. Not everybody agreed on everything, but you make a good point. I find it hard to find motive that you would be looking to benefit the Brotherhood somehow, and yet you accidentally hurt your foot. You accidentally didn't take the cowbell to the back. Then you saw the cowbell and could have taken it to the back, and then you said, oh, screw it. My ankle's sore. I don't feel like walking up there. It's just a few too many question marks for me, Munson. I'll get to the bottom of this. Don't you worry about it, Munson. I'll get to the bottom of this. It's the last thing I do. I don't have
You
to prove anything to Michael Allen Richard Clark, but this match had huge implications for him. He lost his heavyweight title. You can't be making mistakes like that, Munson, that have consequences in the championship matches of PPW. You got to be more responsible than that.
I feel bad for Michael Allen Richard Clark losing in the way he did. It was terrible, Papa Smokes. A series of unfortunate events indeed cost the champion his belt. And now look, you're trying to turn the people. Best, like, you know me, brother. You know me. I would never do such a thing. You gotta know. I am as squeaky clean as they come. I am innocent.
Oh.
There is no evil tendencies. I never get angry. I'm always smiling. I'm always happy. I'm there. I'm a man of the people. The people, I tell you, damn it. I am exactly what I am, and I'm not going to have you guys accusing me of anything else. Just
Hey,
saying.
just call it down the middle, Munson. That's all we expect of you. That's all we want of you. Don't be taking sides in this, and don't be trying to influence things that are beyond your control, because you're a guy that doesn't worry about the consequences of some of your actions. And I really think you should, because if you ever piss off Michael Allen, Richard Clark, or Jacob Creed, or any of these large wrestlers in the back there, you might live to regret it.
I know. I again, I would not ever want to get myself involved like that, Papa Smokes. I couldn't possibly see myself angering these professional wrestlers because I do not want to end up getting in a fight with them. I am not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's just how it is. And I love talking about professional wrestling. And it's time to talk about our main topic of the night, our good friends over at Winnipeg Pro Wrestling, because just recently, a couple weeks ago, they dropped their latest over on YouTube. The show is called Sup, Bud. This is one of those names, Papa Smokes, that reminds me of some of those June and August types of names that we like to come up with. It's always the ones that you come up, the ones that you fill, the not filler, they're not filler, but the names of the events that aren't going to be the event that you see annually every single year. The fun ones that you can come up with. And indie wrestling is always known for having some fun with these ones. I thought Sup, Bud, nice touch by Winnipeg Pro Wrestling on the goofy name on this one.
Oh, for sure. And right off the bat, I mean, the last, I want to say 3 shows of WPW that we've covered and reviewed on this show have been their larger events, including Rumble at the Burton Cummings Theater, the night at the Museum of Man and Nature, and then the one with the symphony playing the music in the background. These are all WPW's larger shows. They're booked with more uh, talent, battling against each other. There's less preliminary action. Those are the big shows. But for this one, it felt good to get back to the West End Cultural Center. It felt good to, that's home to WPW. That's where they hold the majority of their shows. So it's nice to see it in the smaller, more intimate environment. Reminds me a little bit more of our beloved PPW, and with the not the massive amounts of fans, but the smaller amount, but all the very, very devout fans. Love to see them back in West End Cultural Center.
You bet. And we're going to kick the action off with Tommy Lee Curtis, a.k.a. the Jack Jesus, in singles action. He is taking on Big Merv, who we know as of late has been over on the commentary desk with our good friend Blair Pacheco from Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. So good to see Big Merv back in this thing. One of the things I noticed about this matchup, we always talk about the placement of matchups, having that really good first matchup on a card. And the best part about this is it's not the fast-moving, flashy match that sometimes does that on a wrestling card. This was a match done between two very skilled professional wrestlers in the ring, one of which draws heat the second that anybody mentions his name, or you hear that music start to play, that "Oh Mama, and fear for my life from the long arm of the law." Jack Jesus, man, draws heat like nobody's business. Like, he is that good at it. And this matchup, solid between these two guys. Very well done. And again, allowing for Jack Jesus to get another big victory here in this matchup and continue the momentum that he's got going on with his congregation. more we'll see from him later on. Stay tuned. Very interesting stuff that we'll see later on from Jack Jesus. But your thoughts on the opening match of this card, Papa Smokes?
Yeah, I thought this worked very well, and I think part of the structure of this card having this match first was because we're going to see more out of these competitors later this night, and more little bit of storytelling done by WPW here. But for now, yeah, Big Merv comes to the ring. He's popular. He's kind of back now as a active wrestler, and then Jack Jesus as well. The last couple of cards we've watched, he's been the manager in the corner, but he's quite an adept wrestler with quite a jacked physique as well. So good to see Tommy Lee Curtis back in the ring as well. Curtis and asking Big Merv, making the formal invitation for Big Merv to join the congregation. Big Merv looking like he didn't really mull it over very long before answering, "Fuck you, Jesus," as the fans like to chant in WPW. Very nice touch. Got the entire crowd on his side, which they were anyway, but they really, really liked that one. And yeah, Nick Nelson making himself a nuisance in this match, distracting the referee from the outside, trying to interfere physically in this match. Merv really just fighting two battles at the same time. I like that Big Merv's fans are known as the Merverts. They were chanting quite loudly for Big Merv. Quite hilarious. Curtis using his strength, using that excellent physique, working Merv's lower back the entire time. You can see it had an effect on him. And off the distraction by Nelson, Curtis hits a sit-down pile driver and gets the pinfall. So 9 minutes, they're in and out with a little bit of storytelling at the beginning. The congregation covets Big Merv as a member of their faction. Big Merv wanting no part of this, turning them down, but eating a pinfall loss at the same time.
You bet. From there, we move on to what started as what was going to be a match, but then all of a sudden Tyler Colton interrupts, comes down to the ring, starts cutting a promo saying he will get back to his chase of the WPW Heavyweight Championship after losing because of the assistance from New Money in the matchup. So he has changed his focus. He wants the tag team titles, to which New Money come out. They laugh at him. They say, "You have no friends. Nobody wants to team with you. If you find yourself a partner, the titles can be on the line here tonight." So a possible tag team title match in the making. Who will the mystery partner be? Well, I guess we'll talk to you guys about that when we get to that matchup coming up very shortly. Stay tuned. From there, we get a ladies match on the card, Pop Smokes. It's Vanessa Craven making her debut in Winnipeg Pro Wrestling against Gigi Ray. And right away, I'm like, why do I know who this wrestler is? Vanessa Craven. I thought for a bit, I'm like, I know I've seen her work before at some point in time. And then they started bringing up the 2018 Mae Young Classic. I'm like, okay, now I remember she was back in that. And then, of course, they start talking about all the accolades she's got over on the east side of Canada, racking up the wins, racking up the title reigns. She is kicking ass and taking names. So I'm like, okay, this is a very viable big debut then. Like, they are making this out to be, especially when you consider who her opponent for the night was in the form of G Money, Gigi Ray. And this was a great matchup, great debut from Craven as well here too, to make an impact within WPW. I thought this was great placement on the card, great debut. Loved every second of it. Craven ends up with that pinfall victory, really making a statement, having beat Gigi Ray in this one.
Yeah, very much so. And this wouldn't be the last we'd see of Vanessa Craven on this evening as well. But they gave the ladies 8.5 minutes here. Gigi Ray comes out. I really like her, Munson. I think she's such an awesome talent. Mm-hmm. Her presentation is so awesome. She looks awesome. She always has really cool and really stylish gear on, and she's excellent in the ring. I really think it's weird that some of the big companies don't come calling on her, because she has excellent babyface energy, and I really enjoy her matches in WPW. However, I was very interested in Vanessa Craven as well, the Mountain, as she's known as. Whew, that's a big lady, Munson. She's a real big lady. The announcer is being 6'2", and she's got to be every bit of that, no question. And she's got some strength to her and some size. Wow, she came out there and she was so much bigger than Gigi Ray. It was kind of crazy. So Ray's last match in WPW, Freudian slip there, not PPW. But Gigi's last match was in the Voyager Cup, eating a loss to Shayna Baszler. No shame in that whatsoever. I mean, Baszler's an absolute killer, very experienced and very prominent lady wrestler. So Gigi's starting over a little bit here in WPW, still with the support of the fans, but she's got a big mountain to climb in this match. Craven started off using power, no surprise there, but Gigi Ray using speed and skill to overcome that. Craven, nothing fancy about her offense, like a smash mouth style. Her slaps to the chest were so hard and so loud. I was pitying Ray in this situation. Craven controlled a whole lot of the match with Gigi Ray fighting from underneath. Gigi chipped away at the stone with drop kicks. She gave a nice crucifix bomb takeover. Nearly got a 3 count there, nearly surprised the Mountain. But Craven hits a big cannonball somersault into the corner, a big black hole slam, 2 count, then hits that two-handed power bomb choke slam variant move right there, gets the pinfall. This is 8 minutes in and out. So Ray looking good in this match, but Vanessa Craven really making the headline with a huge debut. I use that word specifically because she is now going to be a force to be reckoned with in WPW. We'll see a little bit of her later on tonight, but the champion Jody Threat got to be watching for this threat to her title reign coming from Vanessa Craven.
That's pending that Jody Threat can get past her opponent later in the night. We'll get to that match shortly. Up next, tag team action. It is BP Taylor teaming up with James Roth to take on the Midlife Express. That is Ronnie Attitude and Kevin Cannon, along with GM James Corba in their corner. Man, did BP Taylor take a lot of the beatdown in this match. Like, when you talk about somebody who was the workhorse in a fight, this guy was the workhorse in the fight. He was bumping for long periods of time throughout this match, always trying to get that hot tag into Roth in his corner. Definitely, getting himself served up by the team of the Midlife Express. Of course, James Corba in their corner. The whole feud with ATM continues to rival on. ATM shows up in this matchup with a baseball bat, chases Corba away from ringside. Inevitably, BP Taylor does get that tag into James Roth, and things pick up from there. Papa Smoke. Roth comes in, steamrolls everything, ends up getting the pinfall victory, but that's not even really the story of this whole night, because later, after that, it's all settled. ATM returns with that baseball bat, chasing Corba back down to the ring, where he stands there with the Midlife Express and challenges ATM to a matchup at the event in July. It is going to be a street fight. So he essentially reinstates him after firing him from the company, and now wants a street fight. And on commentary, Blair and the other commentary guy at the commentary desk there, sorry I didn't get the name tonight, they were talking about how this is like, what could Corba be up to? Why would he take this challenge? I mean, it seems out of place for him to want to take ATM on in a street fight, but Corba at this point, Papa Smokes, there is no reason other than shenanigans that he's been brewing up, that he's got cooked up for this thing in particular. He's going to get himself a whooping in this situation. He's definitely going to take a good whooping throughout this thing from ATM, but he ain't going into this fight without something up his sleeve.
I got to agree with you 100% there. And to think that James Corba doesn't have some nefarious plan in the back of his mind. He obviously does. But he comes out for the manager for the Midlife Express. Still think that's quite a hilarious tag team name, by the way. But BP Taylor was out there. Now, commentary clued us into him. I think it might have been his debut with WPW or one of his first matches anyway. He said he had 1 year training and 1 year wrestling. So this guy's pretty new. And yeah, he got a whooping in there, just like you said. Um, he came to the ring first while the Midlife Express were already in there. So they just jumped him 2-on-1. They were working him pretty good by the time James Roth even got there for a bit of a save. But then the Midlife Express isolated Taylor, cheating, double teaming, ref distracting, all the rest of it. Corba inserting himself in this match physically and as a distraction various times. And but eventually James Roth getting the pinfall with a modified suplex. So the good guys get over in this one. But like you said, all of a sudden the camera takes a shot of the crowd, and there's Anderson Tyson Moore sitting front row with a mischievous grin on his face. And oh, yeah, he's all over James Corba and brawling him and fighting him all the way through the crowd, all the way out the side door and outside. Munson, that gave me some good memories of PPW, of some of the really hot feuds we've had where the guys have fought all the way out the door into the parking lot, all the way around the building into the other door. Yeah, ATM just was going to have no mercy on James Corba, the guy who banned him from WPW some months ago, just coming in as not as a wrestler, as a contracted talent, but just coming out of the audience and getting this going. And same thing as you were saying, Munson, I'm suspicious of James Corba challenging ATM to one of those summer shows at the Blue Note, wants a street fight with him. I realize Corba has been a wrestler in the past and has some matches under his belt, but he's bitten off way more than he can chew if he wants a street fight with Anderson Tyson Moore. So you know Corba, he's devious. He's got to have something up his sleeve for this, and no doubt his henchmen will be involved. But if he comes out to the ring for a street fight with ATM, he better get his plan in motion quick, as he might find himself hurt in a big hurry.
Oh, yes. Yes, he could. So, moving on from there, what I will call maybe one of the most fantastic matches, maybe the most fantastic match on this card, Bob Stokes. You know what? Fuck it. It is the most fantastic match on this card overall, in my opinion. It's the 92.1 City FM Championship matchup. Brax, the new champion, taking on Sweet Bobby Shink. And I'll tell you, man, this was a big boy match. Sometimes we forget just how big Bobby Shink is. Yo, Blair, what's up?
Yo, Blair.
Man. Graymaker Wrestling Podcast, and of course, the voice of Winnipeg Pro Wrestling commentary. Thank you, Blair, as always, for supporting this show and also for the great work over at Winnipeg Pro. Just talking now about Brax and Bobby Shink and how I thought this was probably the most fantastic match in so many ways. But yeah, back to saying big boy matchup. Sweet Bobby, I mean, he's 6'7", man. This guy, like, we're so used to seeing guys give up size when it comes to fighting Brax, but Bobby doesn't give up size to Brax. Maybe a little bit on the width size. Brax a pretty solid dude in terms of the width, but Bobby Shink's got that height, and he is fit, he is tough, and he's fucking agile as hell too. Like throughout this thing, you just see how agile he is for a very tall, big man. Of course, this was an exciting matchup, not in the flashy, say, of a luchador type of way, but it was great in the way that they built the story that they were telling for this championship. The best part of it is how it ended for me. This is what really did it for me. First of all, the fact that Bobby Shink has got that maple syrup over with the crowd to the point where people are booing when he can't get to it, as Brax is pulling him back multiple times, not allowing him to get the sweet syrup and, boost himself up and get ready for more fighting, be able to get back. The fact of the matter is that this ended with Brax absolutely knocking out Sweet Bobby Shink. He completely holds that chokehold on him until, or that rear naked choke, I think it was,
Full Nelson.
until, full Nelson. Jesus Christ, sorry. He holds that thing on until Bobby passes out, and they have no choice but to call the match. Bobby, tough as nails, kept fighting until he couldn't hold on anymore, but he did not give up. The referee has to call it. Brax looks dominant as all holy hell in this thing. And of course, that damn maple syrup is over as well, too. This was fantastic storytelling. Well done. Makes Brax look excellent, and at the same time takes nothing away from Bobby Shink. This is something they could roll back again anytime, if not soon. It was awesome. I love this one. Blair saying, oh man, hell of a match. Bobby never gave up. I know. I'm still over the moon on this one. I like this match a hell of a lot.
Yeah, same here. And it really was, a match like this is elevated by having a kind of secondary title on the line in this, the 92.1 City FM Championship, which Brax won semi recently here, and he's a big villainous guy on top, and he's held that belt strong for a time here. But what a challenger for this match, Sweet Bobby Shink, who's, as Blair told us on commentary, has held all the championships in WPW except the 92 City FM Championship. So he would like to add that to his trophy case. Bobby Shink, not used to a size disadvantage. I mean, he's taller than anyone. He's got to be 6'6", 6'7", very, very tall man. Also got a little bit of bulk and strength to his body, but nothing like Brax. Brax is a tank of a human being. Also a pretty tall guy, but this was two big guys in this match. Brax's offense, nothing fancy. A lot of grinding, a lot of high impact forearm blows, a lot of stomping, a lot of choking. Bobby Shink was trying to wear Brax down using headlocks and other holds. No mystery as to what his strategy was there. And I think a good strategy against someone with so much weight and so much power. But yet Brax still was manhandling Shink. That's got to feel weird to be a guy that big and then have another guy manhandle you like that, toss you around like a rag doll. The syrup became a very important part of this match. We've all seen Shink. He powers up with the syrup. He gets a sip of it mid-match or 3/4 of the way through the match, and then he powers up like Hulk Hogan. He can't be beat. But Brax knows this, and he's knocking that syrup out of Shink's hand and out of the ring. Now, this was one of my favorite parts of this match and of this entire card. I love it. A little girl sees that syrup fall to the ground outside the ring, and she loves the babyface. She loves Sweet Bobby Shink. So she runs up, grabs the syrup, and she's trying to hand it to him in the match because she wants to help. She wants to see the man that stands on the side of good get his power up and get the advantage in the match. But no, Brax won't have it. Won't let him have the syrup. Eventually gets that full Nelson hold on, and man, you can't stand a hold like that from such a strong guy like Brax. A normal person would be broken right in half. Bobby held on for a few minutes and just too strong. Munson, if you've ever had a full Nelson hold put on you, it's bending your neck down so hard, it's pushing your chin right into your upper chest here, and your windpipe is just kinked right in half. You ever bother your mom or dad when they're using the garden hose and just snap it in half like that so the water stops? That's what your windpipe is like in a hold like this, put on by a huge man like this. So really no shame, no harm in that. Shink unable to hold on, and now we're left with the question: if Bobby Shink can't beat Brax for the City FM title, who is going to?
That's right. Again, it might take something not short of a miracle to be able to take it off him if anybody can, but we'll find out as more title shots come our way. Up next on this card, we've got Nick Nelson of the Church of the Jack Jesus, along with in his corner the Jack Jesus himself, taking on Sammy Peppers, red hot Sammy Peppers. Papa Smokes, one of the big fan favorites of Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. Somebody who was the recent 92.1 City FM champion himself. So, of course, this match going to be used as one of those matches to kind of bring the fans back in for a little bit of fun. They just had a little strong disappointment in the form of Brax winning against Sweet Bobby Shink. So you got to bring them up, bring up the spirits. And that's what Sammy Peppers always does. Lively, energetic, fun, exciting. We had Wrestle Granny in the middle of this matchup. Nick Nelson yelling at the old lady in the front row, and she gets up and starts getting in his face. We have a granny chant coming from the WPW crowd throughout this. But this how it ends. Of course, Peppers looks like he's about to get the victory. 1, 2, 3, but Tommy Lee Curtis enters the fold, starts beating on Sammy Peppers. Match ends in a disqualification victory for Sammy Peppers. And of course, the beatdown doesn't stop there, but we'll talk about that shortly when Papa Smokes gives his thoughts on the match up to that point.
Yeah, this was kind of a palate cleanser from the last match, I suppose. Nick Nelson, another hated member of the congregation, comes out with the Jack Jesus. And Sammy Peppers, I mean, he's one of the most over wrestlers in WPW. There's nothing he can do wrong. The fans absolutely love him, and there's nothing special about his gimmick, or I shouldn't say gimmick, about his presentation or anything. He just comes out with a charisma and an enthusiasm and an energy the fans really just tie themselves to. They love it. And Peppers is a lot of fun in the ring. Everything's from the hips. He's got the little dance moves and stuff like that. He does have a charisma that easily resonates with the WPW fans. And he takes control in this match early, riding on that enthusiasm from the crowd. But of course, the congregation aren't going to let that happen for too long. Nelson takes over off of Curtis's distraction of the referee. Curtis is trying to distract Sammy Peppers as well. Anything to get an advantage in this match. And Nelson's a pretty fine wrestler. He's got some strength. He's got some weight to him. He uses that, and he uses high impact moves to his benefit in this match. You already mentioned one of my favorite parts in the match, going after Wrestle Granny. You know how Papa Smokes likes a little kid that likes the good wrestlers, and I like a granny that comes to every show and gets right into the action. And as soon as Nick Nelson and the Jack Jesus started in on the granny, ooh, that got the fans really angry at them. And now the fans are chanting, "Grandma, Grandma, Grandma," and she's got a nice smile on her face. Good feelings at a wrestling show. I love that stuff. Glad that this happened in this match. But at any rate, Peppers, using that enthusiasm that he gains from the fans, has Nelson beat, but the Jack Jesus interferes. Referee calls for the disqualification, so Sammy Peppers with the win. Probably not the way he wanted to get it by disqualification, but a win nonetheless. And you know Sammy Peppers has got his eyes on that City FM championship that he so recently held, but was defeated by Brax. He's going to want to get back in there. So another victory to his name. And then Munson, a little more drama after this match.
You bet. The beatdown continues inside the ring in this one. As that goes on and on, the bell keeps ringing. Stop this whole thing. We need the congregation to stop beating down Sammy Peppers. Then all of a sudden, Big Merv comes running back out for the rescue. clears the ring of the Jack Jesus and of Nick Nelson, and he's standing there at the side as Papa Smokes leaves my side temporarily here, maybe due to the crazy storms that are supposed to roll through our way potentially here tonight. But he'll be back with us in just a moment. But as I continue on right then and there, here he is, Papa Smokes, back on the screen with you. Welcome back, Papa Smokes. But going back to where we were talking about this, so yes, Big Merv is there to save the day. He is standing at the side of Sammy Peppers when all of a sudden, and when I saw this start to progress, I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, something feels fishy here. And I was right to think that, because all of a sudden Big Merv turns around and he kicks Sammy Peppers right in the chops. Papa Smokes KOs him and then gets down on two knees and shows his allegiance to the congregation of the Church of the Jack Jesus. Good God, did this get some heat. And if you're going to turn somebody and put them with this group, you can't choose a better person for them to kick in the face than Sammy Peppers, because this pissed people off.
Very much so. And adding in the fact that Big Merv is I mean, he's not a top of the card wrestler in WPW, but he's a working man's wrestler. He's loved by the fans. He's a hard-working guy, and the fans like Big Merv a whole bunch, and they've been behind him for a long time. And he's had some struggles over the past year and a half or something with injury and various things, not being able to wrestle all the matches he wanted to. But obviously, from the first match, when he got offered that spot in the congregation, his gut instinct at least was to say no, to say, fuck you, Jesus. And he sent the congregation on their way. But either he had decided already, or else he decided after getting that formal offer in the ring, damn, maybe my stakes in WPW would be better, would be stronger if I joined the congregation. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make a splash when I do it.
You bet. Big Merv ends up with the big swerve of the night there and joins the Church of the Jack Jesus. Moving on from there is the WPW Women's Championship on the line. The champion, Jody Threat, taking on her opponent, Danny Leo. This was the loudest pop of the night easily when Jody Threat came out to that ring. God, do they love her in Winnipeg, and so they should. We have said it many times before, one of the best on the scene. The champion once again ready to defend against credible opponents like she did here tonight. Danny Leo, no slouch at all. Excellent in the ring. Great with the submission holds throughout. Gave Jody quite the run, but this was a great opportunity to start making Jody's defenses look strong, start making this championship run look good, because she's going to be in it tough. She ends up getting the victory here, but of course, as we said earlier, Vanessa Craven makes an appearance, and Vanessa Craven wants Jody Threat, and I'm looking at that going, that is a big match feel already. They've already made us realize how much Vanessa Craven is worth in terms of stock to the women's division in Winnipeg Pro Wrestling, and her standing there face to face with Jody Threat, I went, that's a big money matchup right there.
Absolutely. And the match setting all this up between Danny Leo and Jody Threat, a pretty good match, a pretty all right match. There was nothing completely mind blowing in this match, but it was. I think of it as kind of a test for Jody Threat, new champion once again of WPW in the women's division. She takes on her first challenger, and she's got to put in a good showing here. Jody Threat, one of the most popular wrestlers, if not the most popular wrestler in WPW, no question. When you watch her entrance, it's no mystery why. She comes out with such energy. It's unbelievable. The fans love her, and she bonds with the fans. Just like we were talking about with Sammy Peppers, they really get behind Jody Threat. And she didn't have a tremendously tough time in this match. It was 9 or 10 minute match. Leo threw some good stuff at her, including a very nifty octopus hold that Threat was able to get out of, but never really got it going. Threat hits the spear and then an F5 and then a pinfall within that 10 minutes, and then Vanessa Craven coming out to make her presence known. And her presence was known. Oh, yeah, you think of Jody Threat is a pretty big, strong girl. She's not super tall, but her body is very, very strong. She looks tiny next to Vanessa Craven, as most women do. So we've got a big girl match coming up here. Some beef is going to get slapped in this one. No definite idea of when this might happen, but you know that Craven just had a good look at that WPW Women's Championship, and she wants it.
You bet she does. Can't wait to see that one and be able to review it as well too. And we might be past the 1 hour mark, but we won't need a whole lot of time to talk about this next one because it is the main event of the evening. And it is for the Winnipeg Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Pop Smoke. And the reason I say we don't need long to talk about it is because there wasn't much to talk about. I mean, the biggest talking point is New Money came out there. No idea who was going to be Tyler Colton's tag team partner. A massive reveal in the form of Mentolo, the zombie killer, as the tag team partner for Tyler Colton. And this match, if you blinked, you missed it, Papa Smokes. Tyler Colton and Mentolo steamrolled New Money in this matchup, gave them what they've had coming for a long time, and took the Winnipeg Pro Wrestling tag team titles. There isn't much more to say. There wasn't much of a match here. Just a very large moment on a card where a lot of surprises came our way throughout.
And a strange end for New Money's tag team championship run here, too, because they were very dominant for a long time. Did they hold those titles for a year or the better part of a year anyway? And they trash talked anybody that got anywhere near enough to hear their words, and all the braggadociousness and all the cheating and all the henchmen interfering all the time in their matches and all the shenanigans that went on in all their matches. This is how their tag team title reign comes to an end, with the brutal honesty and the brutal power Tyler Colton and special mystery partner Mentolo, who we've seen a number of times in Saskatoon out here. He's such a famous Canadian and Western Canadian wrestler. Probably trained a number of people that wrestle in WPW, including Tyler Colton. So the veteran Mentolo comes out for this, and New Money out there without any of their other faction members. They're all alone. So Colton and Mentolo jumpstart this. There was 3 moves in this match: a pile driver by Mentolo, a big swing by Tyler Colton, and then a huge sit-down power bomb by Tyler Colton. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. The match is done, and we've got new tag team champions. So again, another part of the WPW story being told in this match. We've got new tag team champions, and how does this change the tag team picture now? We've got a couple of fan favorites in Tyler Colton and Mentolo as the champions. We've got a guy with huge size and huge power, and we've got another guy also powerful, but such a veteran and such an voice of experience in wrestling. There's so many years under his belt. They're going to be a really tough team to unseat.
They could be, but at the same time, we didn't see Chisel Chad here on this card, the champion not present. If there was a rematch, new Money involved, and Chisel Chad would have been at ringside, could his interference be enough to put Tyler Colton Mentolo off their game? Yet to be seen. Curious to see who steps up. But new champions were crowned. Overall, a great experience once again. A big thank you to Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. A big thank you to you, Blair, for the great commentary, the great podcasting you do as well, too, my brother. Excellent. Go check them out. Go support Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. Support indie wrestling. We absolutely love it. Big thumbs up. And I'm excited for more Papa Spokes because they're heading to the outdoor venues coming up next.
Very much so. Yeah. And I love, just like we were talking about PPW working at the Saskatoon Berries game under beautiful summer skies in a nice evening. Same thing with WPW going over to that Blue Note just on Main Street there in the back. They've got that nice area where the ring sets up. They got tables, they got patio lanterns and lights and everything. I love the setup of this. I think that might have been one of the first cards we watched of WPW was one of the outdoor ones behind the Blue Note there. And I love this. They always make the venue part of the show and a character in the show. Those Blue Note outdoor shows, no different. Can't wait for that and can't wait to see what's coming up in the future for WPW.
Very much so. There's going to be a lot of great action to cover here on the channel from Winnipeg Pro and all the other companies that we like to do. But in the meantime and in between time, we've been over the hour mark, so we're going to let you get on with your Thursday nights, but we wouldn't want to do so without telling the people where they can find you. So starting with you, Pop Smokes, that fancy ticker down below, let them know where they can find you, what you got coming up.
All right, every Thursday I can be found on Ring Respect Radio, hosted by OLE Podcasts and the Video Bros Network. Other than that, Papa Smokes can be found on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland known as X. I am at Smokes_Papa, also on Twitch, allegedly at least, at Papa_Smokes_.
That's where you'll find Papa Smokes. That's for myself, Bobby Munson. Down below, there's my credentials. You can check me out on X, Real Bobby Munson, Instagram threads at Video Bros SK. Twitch, it's Video Bro _ Bobby Munson, and Blue Sky, Bobby Munson, BSKY.social. For what I've got coming up, first I'm going to say have a good night to the Mangler. Thank you for being out here with us tonight. For what I got coming up, as always, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday, join myself and Andre C. to talk about the world in sports, and we've got lots to talk about from the World Cup. Yes, of course, Canada going on past the round of 32 down to the round of 16. Let's go, Canada. Let's keep fighting, keep making history. Let's talk more about that this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, I've still got my review of the movie Send Help coming out with Astra Bizarro. Going to look to have that out this Saturday for you all. And other than that, of course, where else can we be found, Papa Smokes? Oh, that's right, over at Prairie Pro Wrestling. I've heard of them. Yes, we're your commentary team, and we got a new match coming out every single Saturday, with this Saturday becoming the triple threat match from our show, Resurrection. That was the one it was from. But anyway, tune in, check it out, support Prairie Pro Wrestling, and of course, support this channel right here that you're watching on OLE Podcast. Check us out on all social media, as well as YouTube and Twitch, where we are partnered on both. You can give us Twitch subs. You can give us the Prime subs that you get for once a month. If you're a Prime subscriber, you can give those away on Twitch. Doesn't cost you anything additional. Over on the YouTube side, of course, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell, give us a thumbs up. And if you're watching on replay, leave us a comment in the comment section below. And if you're also watching on replay, grab your mobile phone, check out the show, and give away your hype points. You got up to 3 hype points a week. Those hype points help us. It boosts us up the hype charts, gets more people here active and in the chat, like the lovely chat we've had here joining us in a live capacity tonight. But that's going to be it for myself and Papa Smokes this week on Ring Respect Radio. Join us for more indie action next Thursday night right here on the channel. Take care, everyone.